Very good evening to you. Let's get straight into the story. Athletics South Africa President James Moloi is facing suspension after a probe into his use of a Federation credit card. A statement issued today said the Athletics South Africa board had resolved to call on Moloi to furnish reasons by this Friday, the 31st, as to why he should not be suspended. The action follows a report by the South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee, SASCOC, into Moloi's use of the ASA credit card, particularly a string of questionable costs, including spending at taverns, which he previously claimed were business meetings. The decision came after a 10-hour board meeting in Johannesburg at the weekend. That was convened to consider the official forensic report procured by SASCOC. The report follows SASCOC's probe into the revelations made before Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Sports, Arts and Culture regarding the use of an ASA-issued credit card by Moloi. Now, joining us to speak about this and more is Mfuneko Joko, a Central Gauteng Athletics member who was suspended after he and others had raised these questions. Mfuneko, very good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, Gwenna, and good evening to your viewers at home. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We don't have that much time, so let's get straight into it. I mean, your first reaction on this action that is taken by Athletics South Africa, do you feel vindicated as one of those people who have been saying that he should be suspended after those allegations?
Indeed, Gwenna, we feel very much vindicated. And I think for us, it's long overdue. And at this present moment, we've got to thank the work of the Portfolio Committee of Sports, Arts and Culture. I mean, they intensified on this after receiving quite a number of reports. But for us, it sends a very clear message that indeed, if we're interested in rebuilding athletics and rebuilding the sports in general, especially on the administration that has been cited by the minister quite a number of times that we need to improve across all our federations. We feel this sends a very, very strong message that we are indeed on the right path. And Gwenna, for us and many other groups, concerned groups, it also gives us an opportunity to be the sort of police in safeguarding our sport and ensuring that we are indeed a federation that is quite credible, amongst other things. So yeah, indeed, we feel very much vindicated.
Do you feel, though, that because if you read the statement, it does not say that he is suspended, but it's an intention to suspend pending his reasons that should be given by Friday. Do you think this is the right move, or should he have been outrightly suspended based on what the Portfolio Committee and the report from SASCOC had said?
But Kweda, we've made our call very clear to quite a number of institutions, including the Office of the Minister, SASCOC itself, long before this particular point. But in as far as the statement is concerned, it is not our position to even explain the statement. I think ASA is at liberty, or rather the right institution, to give further explanation into this particular statement. And of course, we've read the statement, and our conclusion is that there's a lot that is sort of missing in that particular statement. But we are not going to dwell deep into that. ASA must come up front and explain that particular statement. But for us, it's something that we have been saying, and it's on record long before we got into this particular point, including, by the way, writing to our very own province, Central Gauteng Athletics, writing to ASA itself, including the ASA president. Even before he was re-elected, we wrote to him on the 28th of February, citing the very same challenges that we are seeing as athletics people who are very much involved in athletics. So it's not something new, but as for statement, let ASA explain the statement even further. It's not really in our position.
Now, you, amongst others, the likes of Tulani CBC, Doram Gwevu, amongst others, were suspended. What does this say then about that suspension? Will you be challenging that particular suspension with this news that James Moloi there is an intention by Athletics South Africa to suspend him?
Well, I mean, to start on the issue of suspending people like Tulani CBC, how do you suspend a 70-year-old plus man for raising pertinent issues in as far as poor administration of athletics? So this is an opportunity, in our view, that was missed by ASA in all its internal structures in engaging us especially after we've written to them and other institutions to understand where is our cry coming from and what really informs it. But coming to your point, we've written to ASA through our legal team. We actually, we just received a letter which indicates, or rather the charge sheet, about an hour ago. And it's surprising that ASA has not responded to our legal team. The only response they gave is a very vague response. And it must also be cited that they suspended us from the 1st of August. After 86 days, they're only giving us a response in form of charge sheet. So we've been writing to them, and we've got absolutely no appetite to go outside what we know is right in terms of engaging ASA. But we are not going to stop in calling for a proper governance in our athletics. We are on the ground, Gwen.
Okay.
We know how it feels to run athletics from your own pocket. So we're not going to sit down and watch while things are falling apart at ASA, because that signals the actual, distance from the corporates in terms of the support. And we've seen the results of that in terms of the performance of our team in the World Athletics. So we are pursuing that matter, and we are very much prepared to take it to the next level.
Okay, Mfuneko, we're going to have to leave it there. Unfortunately, as I did say, we don't have that much time. But thank you so much for coming through. Mfuneko Joko, who is the suspended member of Athletics South Africa, just to tell you that we did extend an invitation to Athletics South Africa to hear their side of the story. They did say that they will not be taking any media interviews up until this matter has been finalized.